All right, today we're tackling something that sounds, well, a little heavy. The nihilism of universal significance. I know, it sounds like a college philosophy class, right? But trust me on this one. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed, understanding this idea could be one of the most powerful things you do to get some focus back in your life. So stick with me. So it really all boils down to this one simple idea. A bit of a paradox, actually. If everything matters, nothing does. Just think about that for a second. It kind of hits you, right? You feel it in your gut that it's true. The big question is, why? Why does that statement ring so true? Okay, so let's really dig into that. What are we even talking about when we say everything matters? I mean, what does that look like? And how on earth does a world full of important things somehow flip around and become a world where, well, where nothing feels significant at all? So to figure this whole puzzle out, we gotta break it down. Let's start with the first part of that phrase. We need to really get a feel for what it's like to live in a world where the operating assumption is that everything, and I mean everything, is a top-tier critical priority. And there's a term for this, universal significance. It's basically that feeling, that constant pressure where every single thing demanding your attention feels like it's a code red emergency. There's no ranking system, no number one, number two, number three. It's like everything is tied for first place, which is, well, it's impossible. So what does this actually look like in our day-to-day lives? Well, first up, you've got your work, right? You're supposed to be crushing it, climbing that corporate ladder, being innovative, passionate, productive every single day. That's huge. That matters a ton. And then, of course, there's family. You gotta be there for them. Be present, be engaged, make those memories, That's non-negotiable. It's another top priority. It also matters immensely. Okay, but we're not done. On top of all that, you've got your health. You're supposed to be eating clean, hitting the gym, meditating, getting a perfect 8 hours of sleep. I mean, your physical and mental health are absolutely critical. So, yep, this also matters immensely. And hey, it's not just about you. We're all connected, right? So you have to stay informed about what's happening in the world. You need to be a good citizen, care about big issues, worry about the planet. And yeah, that stuff absolutely matters. And let's not forget the future, that constant, low-level anxiety about what's coming next. You have to be saving for retirement, investing, always learning new skills just to keep up. It's this massive, non-negotiable thing hanging over your head. So you take all of that, and what do you get? You get this, the impossible to-do list. Look, every single one of these things is a good, important goal. Nobody's arguing that. But the problem is when they're all priority number one, all at the same time. The whole system just shorts out. You can't give 100% of your attention to 6 different places at once. It's a guaranteed recipe for burnout and just feeling totally stuck. Okay, so that's the crushing weight of everything matters. Now let's finally get to the other side of the coin. How does all of that lead to the feeling that nothing does? This right here explains it perfectly. Think about where meaning actually comes from. On one side, you have focus. Meaning is created by contrast, by scarcity. When you pick one thing to focus on, it stands out against everything else. That choice gives you clarity. But on the other side, you have universal significance. What does that create? Just noise. An insane abundance of priorities. And that just leads to paralysis. It's like having a compass where the needle is pointing in every direction at once. It's completely useless. And boom, all of a sudden that quote we started with makes total sense. If everything matters, nothing does. See, it's not a pessimistic or cynical thing to say, it's just logic. For something to be important, it has to be more important than something else. You need that contrast. Without it, the whole idea of mattering just kind of evaporates. So what's the way out? How do we escape this trap? Well, the answer isn't to just throw your hands up and say, oh, well, nothing matters then. Not at all. The answer is to take back the power of choice. It's about you, consciously deciding to create meaning by choosing where you put your focus. And the process is actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, you just have to acknowledge the noise. Admit to yourself, I cannot do everything. It's okay. Step 2, you have to make a deliberate choice. You decide, okay, this is what I'm focusing on right now. And then step 3, by making that choice, you are actively assigning importance. You aren't finding what matters, you are making it matter. And this is maybe the biggest takeaway from all of this. Significance is not found, it is created. We tend to think of meaning as this thing that's just out there in the world, waiting for us to find it, like buried treasure. But that's not how it works. It's an act of creation. It's something you build with the choices you make and where you put your attention.
So I want to leave you with a question. Let's make this big, abstract idea really personal and really immediate. We know you can't do everything. We know not everything can be your top priority. So what is the one thing that you will choose to make matter for you today? Because whatever your answer is, that's where it all begins. That's where your focus and your meaning truly starts.